Welcome to Jan's Views, a place where I share my views and listen to yours. Whether you are here for my artwork, live streams, shorts, or just for the giggles, please be assured I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope that you will enjoy your time here on my channel. I would be eternally grateful if you would give a like to the video, consider subscribing and, dare I ask, even become a member. So without further ado, let's do this.
Hello and welcome to Drama Friday. It is indeed Friday. Guys, I made the mistake of having a nap. I had a nap. I don't know what time it was. And I thought, okay, I'll just nap for an hour or so, which I did. But I woke up feeling as if I hadn't napped at all. And I woke up as if, I sort of was getting up in the middle of the night. And yeah, it wasn't a good thing to do. Alas, I've still made it. I haven't let you all down. I'll always try not to let you down. And when I'm due to do one of these live streams. So how the hell are you? I hope you're all well. Where am I? I'm there. Okay, I hope you're all well. Wake up, Jan. Just me and the cat. So how are we? We've got a Barley. Hi, sweetness. I hope you're well. Yeah, it's coming up to the weekend. I'm also glad that you've caught me. It's always nice to be caught, especially when you're doing a live stream. So you got a notification. That's good. I don't know. I don't know about this YouTube business. They get it all wrong, don't they? I know that. Well, we're still missing Edna, which is a real shame. I don't know. Anyway, and I think Bridget is back to studying. So it's just you and me. It's just you and me doing this. Right, okay, I've just answered that, Barley. No, I haven't heard from her. Yeah, I think, well, no, I don't know whether I would be the first person she'd contact because I know she's, she used to chat to Chef and a couple of other people. So I don't know, darling. As soon as I hear anything, I will definitely say something. so that everybody that is worrying will worry no more. Because it's not nice, is it, when people just disappear? So I can't be too late tonight because I've got a girly day tomorrow. My girly day is with my daughter, one of my daughters and one of my granddaughters, and we love our girly days. We go shopping, and then we normally grab a meal, and we just sort of, spoil ourselves a little bit. So I've got that coming tomorrow. Yesterday I did a little bit of shopping, and I bought oh, this is all about drama, sorry, but I just thought you might want to know about me a little bit. Anyway, I've got to stop going shopping, guys. That's the fact, because I always ask for vouchers, and my kids are very generous and they give me vouchers. So then I go into TK Maxx, which is my favorite shop ever, and I just buy ridiculous things. So yesterday I bought something that I absolutely adore. I'll probably put it on my community tab at some point. And I absolutely adore her. I just couldn't help it. I squealed with delight. I literally squealed when I saw this. And I also bought what I thought was a rug. And it's sort of animal themed, and I thought, oh, that will go in my hallway under my glass table. So I bought it, and it was only when I got home that I realized, actually, no, it's not really a rug. It's more of a throw. It's I mean, I did throw it on the floor to look at it, and it's like, no, that's not really a rug. Because it had like a backing to it, had a cloth backing. So I thought, no, okay. So it's more of a throw or a tapestry type thing, that you could hang on the wall, which I love the idea of that. I've done that before years ago in one of my other homes. I used to hang rugs on the wall. If you live in a place with lots of bare walls, which I don't, because as I've said before, I live in an art gallery. If you live in one of those places, to put a rug or a tapestry on the wall adds so much texture and vibrancy and just a completely different level of decor to your room. So I'm sort of looking around thinking, oh, where can I put this? Because I don't have any sort of spare walls, really. So yeah, it's a bit of a ponder. I'm thinking possibly in my art room, but and then I thought, well, maybe I'll put it on the back of the doors. Listen, you don't want to hear about that. You don't want to hear about that. I know what you're all here for. You're all here for this. Don't pretend you're not. Okay? You're here for this. And do I have news for you? I have lots of news. So, but it's quite amusing news. So yeah, honestly, you couldn't make it up. So, YOMAMA struggles with the second-hand concept. He has no idea. He has no idea. So in order to show you what I'm talking about, I need to present you with this. Okay, now, do I need to make that bigger? I think that would be okay. So this is my shorts page on YouTube. And yeah, I'll let the young lady, I'll play it yourselves. Now, okay, let's play it now. Let's play it now.
Mama, I'm being told stories
my grandpa being alive when I'm alive, and I talk to my grandfather.
That's first-hand knowledge.
Stop yelling. First of all, no, that is second-hand knowledge because you're getting it
from my grandfather's alive. That doesn't make no sense.
I'm going to go over it, but he doesn't understand what second-hand knowledge means. That second-hand knowledge is you're getting the story from another person. He doesn't understand words. Because you're getting the information from another person.
I got it from my grandfather. You're not hearing yourself.
He's yelling. I said, you're getting your information from another person, and he's yelling, I'm getting it from my grandfather, which is another person. Mama?
So I would suggest that somebody really needs to, I don't know, maybe they need to do this. What can I say? What can I say? Yeah, maybe go back to school. I think that'd be good. Off to school, yeah, Mama. Off you go. Pay attention in class. That's interesting. What can I say, guys? So, poor YOMAMA, getting his knickers in a twist, as we say over here. I can't imagine that's an American euphemism. But over here, we'd say that he gets his knickers in a twist, especially when he's on a live stream and doesn't really know how to behave. As I've just shown you, it's really quite sad, really. But hey, off you go.
First-hand knowledge is my grandpa being alive when I'm alive, and I talk to my grandfather. That's first-hand knowledge.
Stop yelling. First of all, that is second-hand knowledge because you're getting it
from my grandfather's alive. That doesn't make no sense.
See, that's just it. He couldn't seem to understand that he was speaking. Yeah. Oh, God. Bridget was saying to him, it's secondhand knowledge, yeah? It's like, you know, if somebody else is speaking to you, if somebody else is relaying a story to you, you are then giving secondhand knowledge. You can understand that, guys. And I'm not going over it again. So, YOMAMA, yeah, okay. The other problem we had was this. Oh, Lordy, Miss Claudie. Sorry, matey. You're going to have to go back to school. You're just going to have to go back to school. Off to school, yeah, mama. Something else he didn't understand was that Bridget was using a hyperbolic rhetoric when describing her childhood. I've seen a couple of other reactors, if you like, whatever you want to call them, YouTubers, who also do not understand what a hyperbolic rhetoric is. Now, hyperbolic rhetoric is when Bridget says something like, "Do you know what? I've decided I must be a I must be a middle-aged white woman because I was brought up in a in a white sort of area, and I sort of enjoy the sort of things that middle-aged white women enjoy." Now, hearing people hearing people sounding off about this and saying, "How dare she? How dare she say that she's she's a white woman. She's a middle-aged white woman." Do you know what? It's just so funny. I can't even be bothered. I can't. And that's why I've decided I'm probably going to be doing a lot more on Yo Mama, because he really does come out with the most ridiculous things, as do other people. I've heard other people also talking about it, and I'm like, what don't you understand? What didn't you learn when you were in school? Okay, now I don't think you have to be necessarily an intellect to understand that when Bridget was talking about when she, how she felt sometimes, and used this rhetoric, I don't think it was that difficult to understand. But there seems to be several people online that really do struggle with it and take things really quite literally, and then spread it online. I've heard people say, "Well, I'm not gonna listen to her when she talks about racism. I'm not gonna listen to her anymore because she thinks she's a white woman." Oh, for God's sake, man! She doesn't think she's a white woman. It was hyperbolic. Listen, I'm not going to explain everything to you. My days of teaching English are gone, okay? I'm retired from it. I'm not doing it anymore, but I will react to it on here because I find it quite amusing, especially when you've got the self-proclaimed king of girl world getting it wrong day after day after day. It's just hilarious. So that was just something I needed to talk about. We seem to have more lurkers than chatters in here tonight. Okay, I'll still go about my business. We'll still get the views, so that doesn't matter to me. But yeah, I just I had to talk about that, guys, because I was like, I, I just cannot believe that, there's grown people, and the two that I've heard speak on it are both males, and both, well, yeah, okay, I'm going to say it, both black males, and the only reason I said that is because one of them, apparently, some people say he's not black. Who cares? I couldn't give a monkeys what colour you are. But the reason why I said that is because it just seems mighty, mighty strange to me that these two black men cannot grasp the concept of hyperbole and and humour. And how do they cope? How do they cope? Right, if they go to see a comedian, do they go to comedy clubs or anything, or see comedians on the TV? How do they cope with that when, when they say things in their or in their skit? How do they cope with a comedian who says something it's bizarre. It's just bizarre to me that there is such a lack of understanding in the fundamentals of the English language. And, you know, you don't have to be, well, I don't think you have to be overly intelligent to understand concepts and ways people speak. And, you know, just open up bloody Google. I don't suppose you've got a dictionary lying around. So just open up Google before you open up your mouth. It's just so ridiculous. I just can't. I'm sorry. Hi, Just Freezing. How are you, darling? I hope you're well. Yeah, so I'm like, yeah, anyway, I've gone over that now. I don't think I've really got anything else to say, but I'm sure he's got an awful lot to say. Okay, yeah, Mama, keep feeding me. Keep feeding me. Oh, you're freezing. Oh. Oh, did I call you Just Free? Yeah. Oh, okay. Just ignore me. I get it all wrong. Let me have a sip of my coffee. I haven't brought a cold drink out with me today. So, the next thing I wanted to go over, let's get rid of the let's get rid of the Joker. I think I need, oh no, because I used to call Hannibal the Joker, didn't I? So let's move on to this. And now where am I? There I am. I'm at the top there. Okay. So, oh Lordy, Miss Claudie, what's going on? What is going on in this minute corner of the internet? Do you know what, guys? You'll be really interested to know that last week, right, I've got a book. Okay, here it is. I've got this little book. Can you hear it? Anyway, and I jot things down, you know, but like not like my PowerPoints, but just notes. If you know, there's a specific topic I want to talk about. Now, under Wellness Wednesday, when it all went horribly wrong because somebody blustered in and blustered in and left like a deflated beach ball. The things that I wrote down for it, which I thought was quite amusing and I'd share with you, was TV stroke movies over Christmas. Anyone seen it, Edna? True crime, murder in the Badlands. Oh, I did talk a little bit about that, didn't I? Natalia Grace, new series, and Japan Airlines incident on runway. And as I was jotting down my little bits for tonight, I was like, I didn't even get to talk about anything like that. And it's like, I really do try. I really do try and be organized. Okay. Sorry, Barley. I didn't get it wrong. I always make a mistake and call Breezy by accident. But I told Freezy the name. Okay. Okay. I know you're not a native English speaker and you do really well. Listen, darling, I'm sure if I was over in Austria, I wouldn't be able to say things. I try very much not to make fun of people who are in a foreign country and trying to speak the language. No, in fact, I never do. And that's because I know what it must be like. It's like when I've travelled, I'm bloody useless. I haven't got a clue. I went to Germany for a week and I couldn't, yeah, what word did I learn? I don't think I learned any words. I only, I mean, the thing is, even in Germany, they actually say hi. In fact, in Berlin, everyone spoke English. I didn't even have to try and speak German. But France is different. Paris is different. I've been there about 6 times, I think. And I do struggle a little bit in France, but the little bit of French I use is pathetic. And my family just tell me to shut up. So, yeah, so there's that. Right, so we've actually got another bit of news to come up with. So let's get this sorted. Let's get on with it. Well, Well, what can I say? What can be said? Let me move me out of the way of that. Let's see if I can move me away. There we go. We go there. What can I say? Kuwait has become a no poop zone. Planes are being refused entry into Kuwait as suspected POS expected to land very, very soon. Well, we all know that she has landed. She's landed in a great big steaming pile of oh, Lordy Miss Claudie. And what amazes me is how people even believe a word she said. But we know some people that believe everything she says, don't we, guys? Hi, Deb. Hi, Deb Davigneau. Deb W. I hope you're well, darling. Hope you've had a good week. Yeah. So I thought maybe we'll talk about that because I know you guys quite like it, don't you? So it's all a bit worrying, really. Apparently, as the bulletin says, her fake husband is there waiting with a bucket in hand. Oh my God. Oh, and the Middle Eastern country has stated that they're unable to take any more poop because one of their residents kind of likes it. We're not going to go into any great detail about it, but yeah, I think we all know what's happening there. So what I actually thought we could do is go over what she's been trying to do to cover up this monstrosity of a situation. I can't imagine. Guys, can you imagine if you were in her situation? Okay. It's hard. I know it's hard to put yourself in that situation because none of us would be stupid enough to go on to Tinder looking for anyone out of the country because no one in her own country wants anything to do with her. And starting a relationship with somebody that she doesn't really know. Somebody, I mean, we all know, guys. Okay, get your thoughts out, Jan, in one bit instead of going backwards and forwards. Okay, let's try again. Now, if you're going to start a relationship with somebody from a completely different culture to yourself, wouldn't you do some research on it? I would, most definitely. I would be worried that perhaps I wouldn't be able to understand a lot of the culture. So I would definitely study it. And it's not difficult to do. There's Google. There's Google if you don't understand. Now, as we all know, I'm not going over everything that she's done. We all know what she's done. We all know that she's the biggest piece of shite that ever walked the Canadian soil. We all know that. Let's not kid ourselves. So she's gone over, supposedly married this Syrian man who lives in Kuwait, even though he's not a what's the word for someone who lives in Kuwait? Is it Kuwaitian? I don't know. Anyway, so she's married him and it's all gone horribly wrong. It's all ended up like a steaming pile of shite, quite literally. So that's all I'm going to say because I don't need to explain everything about what's happened. But what I would like to do is go over something, a channel that I get most of my information from about her because I find I like this channel because they don't show any sort of live footage of her. That's fine by me. I can't stand it when I go into, find out what's been happening in this in this woman's life, and I have to watch her. I don't like that. I don't want to see her gorging herself on junk food. No, no. I don't want to watch her just, what's the word, trolling her audience. She knows exactly what she's doing. Okay. So I thought we could go over this together. Let's get rid of right, okay. So let's do this. Let's let you see what I'm doing. Do 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 do. Right, okay. All right, get that on there. All right, let's make it a wee bit bigger for you. Shall we go there? I think that's probably fine. So, and shall we make it into, yeah, okay. Right, so we'll skip that, and I'm going to stop it every so often because, you know, I'd like to sort of put my little bit in. But yeah, exactly, Deb. I just can't. It's just sickening. And you know that she's got the microphone on her chest so that it picks up every single bite and every time. I mean, it doesn't even, I was going to say when she slushes it round her mouth, she doesn't even do that. She just swallows it. And it's just ghastly. No. No. I mean, I think I do have a bit of a thing about eaters, and I know a couple of my kids do as well. In fact, I'd probably say all 4 of them do, where we don't like, you know, no food sounds or not food, eating sounds. We don't like that. I think I've passed it on to my kids. So watching her eat and listening to it, it's just awful. And even without the context of, you know, of the so-called vlog, it's just ghastly to me. So we're going to go on to GORLIC Bread's channel. The reason I like him, as I said, is because I think he gives a very good overall opinion on what she does. I like that. Oh, I've just realised I could take that up there. I like that. I think he's very fair in what he says. And okay, let's start this. Yeah, I don't like eating sounds either.
Free, no sweets.
Okay.
The thumbnail that you see, well, those were sweets for Salah and his company. She was unaware. Amberlynn had walked a mile and kind of deferred to the park she went to, the cats that she met out there. She says that park actually really far away, but they had to go out there anyway. I think that kind of works against the theory that Salah did not film that.
Right. Okay. I've seen a couple of people saying, or I've seen a couple of videos of her going for a walk. The problem is when she goes for a walk, it's never a good thing. You can hear her breathing is very labored. It's very staged. You know, for somebody who's been on YouTube for as long as she has absolutely nothing to give. She has no, what's the word? No perspective on things. Is it due to her lack of intelligence? I don't know. Quite possibly. It could be that. But if you watch one of her vlogs, which I desperately try not to do, but as I say, I do watch it. I do watch some through other reactors like Milk Tea. Milk Tea will play a bit of what she does. And also, so does FFG. And I'm like, sometimes I just have to go because I can't stand watching Foodie. Oh, and another thing, another piece of breaking news. Did you all know that YOMAMA watches every single FFG live stream all the way through? Yeah, he does. He told me on a live stream. There you go. So who's the obsessed one? Hi, Bea. Hope you're well, darling. Yeah, I noticed that, Deb. I didn't think Salah was filming, but I listened again and heard her say his name. Maybe he filmed some of it, but someone made a good point, Deb, because some of the shots were were the type of shots that a professional would take. Like apparently he put the camera on the ground or something. He filmed from the ground upwards, which wouldn't have been a very good that wouldn't have been a very good picture, I'm telling you. But yeah. So I thought that was quite interesting. I'm not sure who spoke about it. I think when I was just going through YouTube a little bit earlier, I heard that and I thought, oh no, that's quite interesting. So we'll see. I don't know what Garlic Bread thinks about it, but we'll see.
Her whole chat urges her to make routines, select things that are going to be achievable closer to her home. They bring up Reddit. She said that she never really thought about the Reddit. She also says that her sugar has been staying very low. It's not gotten over 10. She's been laying around a lot, though.
See, this is why I call her the biggest troll, and I'm not talking about her mammoth size. I'm talking about the things that she does on purpose to get a reaction. That's what trolling is. And to sit there with all this chocolate in front of her is just a troll. It's to get people talking, to say, to react to her, because she's desperate. She's desperate at the moment to get her numbers up. So she's just gone back to what she does best, which is trolling.
The new sofas, have no fear. They're very comfortable, very sturdy. She actually wanted one of the kind of floor sofas. She thanks all the reaction channels for the attention, citing that she gets coverage whether she does good or bad. And she kind of reiterates there that her TikTok was banned or she can't direct message due to inappropriate content. And she says she...
Well, that's interesting. That's interesting. Her TikTok was, it sounds as if it was limited. She's only got limited use of it because of her content. And, I think it's about time. I think it's time that people looked at this woman and, YouTube looked at this woman and considered what it is that she's actually putting out there. Who are her audience? If you were to take away all the reaction channels that talk about her, who would her audience be? I don't think she would have an audience, because what is she doing? She makes up these scenarios or fakes a certain lifestyle when we all know that her whole aim in life is to eat as much as she possibly can. That's a fact. That's a fact. And although she tries to add a bit of drama, it's normally when she gets involved with the wrong type of men. And we know that for a fact. But she also knows that when there's a man around, she will get views on her. But the problem is she gets views for the wrong reasons. She gets views because of the type of men that she goes for. And that is such a stupid thing to do. But yeah, so going back to what I just said, I think it's time that YouTube and Twitch and everybody else started condoning or stopped rather condoning this type of behavior. It's just shocking. It's shocking to me anyway.
She hates TikTok and the way it treats creators, but she loves it for scrolling. She says it's the best app for scrolling, and she wishes she could do more with YouTube, which is ironic because if you recall, she had a Foodie Beauty Shorts channel probably a year and a half to 2 years ago, could never manage to do more than 5 videos. She says that it's easier to go viral on TikTok. She defends that Julia is not matted, no matter how she looks, and she's determined to not let all the food they bought go to waste, citing that a pineapple is already completely gone and some of the fruits and vegetables had to be frozen.
Okay, did anyone see the picture? I think it was on Garlic's chat. Garlic's YouTube channel, where he showed all the food that she'd bought in that haul. It was unbelievable. Whether it was for 2 people or not, it was just unbelievable, the amount of food that she had. Hi Capone, lovely to see you. Am I a GORLIC fan? I'm not. God, I'm sounding really wheezy. I've got to get back on the vapes. I'm smoking too much again. No, I'm not a fan. What do you mean by a fan? If I want to watch something about this blob, I'll normally watch him or Milk Tea. But I wouldn't say I'm a fan of either of them. Yeah, no, I wouldn't say I'm a fan of them. It's just the people that I choose to watch if I'm going to be watching anything about her.
She said she's been eating tomatoes each day, making more salads. Said that it was not food for more than 1 or 2 people. And she reiterates it was just a really good sale. And she'll be sauteing some of them because she loves deconstructed fajitas. She said it's no different than preppers who go out and buy a large amount of detergent.
Today I woke up feeling
Okay, what are you saying? GORLIC is a scammer. He tricked Breezy into sending feet pics. And a 3K Airbnb. Okay, let's go over that. Okay, let's unpack that. Just freezing. He scammed her. How did he scam her? I mean, it was her decision to get the Airbnb, as far as I understand. I also understand that the reason he told her to get an Airbnb was because she was saying she was in a abusive relationship. Oh, stop it. Now you can stop that, Capone. Do I fancy him? Although, do you know what? My ex, I was married to an Irishman, but no. Yeah, so anyway, I don't, hey, just freezing. You know, I don't go along with all these stories. I take it from my take on what I've seen. Did he fool her a bit? Yeah, maybe. Did he ask for feet pictures? Yeah, maybe. But the point of him scamming her, I don't know whether that's absolutely true. I think from what I've learnt from watching the type of person she is, I think she's another desperado, and I think she wanted a new beginning. And a new beginning with this man that was, you know, supposedly showing her some, some attention. So she then was coming up with all these stories. I've actually have got a video. If you're interested, we could go over what he actually said about it, because I'm on his channel at the moment. So I'm quite happy to do that because I'm rubbish at coming out with, you know, remembering things. It's my age, guys. I'm an old bird now. I really do try, but I just go on and on and on, and I never really get anywhere. Anyway, yeah. So I don't believe that. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't believe it. I think she's painted it in a completely different light to what it is. That's what I think. Right, okay. Justice for her hairy bunions. Capone, go and stand in the corner. Okay, you're just messing. Okay. Yeah. But I don't know why. I don't think GORLIC's insane. I think Breezy, saying insane is a bit sort of over the top. I think she's very lost. I think she's desperate. I think she's like silly. I think, yeah, that's what I think she is. I don't think she's insane. There's very few people online that I actually think are insane. But we're not talking about that today. But yeah, I don't know. I think, you look at what's her face? What's her name? Breezy. She's still living at home. She's 40. She's still living with her parents. She's got a child that she doesn't have. Yeah. I agree with that. Yeah. She was crazy in love. She wants a way out. She wants a way out and a way forward from how her life is today. And who can blame her? But she's trying to take the lazy way out. So, she's done a few things in her past that we're all aware of. And instead of sitting back and hoping that this YouTube business, which she does very little on, there's nothing creative about her YouTube. She doesn't edit or anything like that, or put out anything of any real interest out there. But she's found a nook where she's managed to gain a fairly significant following, and is paid to just basically sit there and prattle on about nothing. I mean, she does try the odd thing, like going for scooter rides, but we've also learnt, even by doing that, she's like, a bit rubbish, and ends up sort of falling off, and it's just, yeah. Breezy, I wouldn't say she's insane. I just think she's a bit desperate. And we all know there's lots of desperate people. There's lots of desperate people out there, guys. And the more you see them, the more desperate they are. I think there's probably, I mean, dare I say it, I think there's more desperate people who react. There's more desperate reactors than there are, like, other YouTubers. Yeah, I think that's quite right. Well done, Jan, coming up with that. That's what I think. I think there's a lot of reactors that come on and they start reacting to the most obvious people. Because the thing is, right, as you know, I go in a lot of other communities, and no, I haven't been booted out of them, okay? I go in a lot of different communities, and I'm just thinking, do they have reactors to them? And no. I mean, not that I know of anyway. I mean, I love true crime. I watch what's his name? That Chapter. I watch Bailey Sarian. I watch Kirsty Danielle. I don't think I've ever seen a video of somebody reacting to them. So why is that? And I think the reason why people come in here reacting is because they see it as easy money. Even if they come in and say, "Oh no, I'm not reacting. I'm gonna react to somebody because I think they're all hypocrites. So I'm just gonna react." No, you're a reactor. Okay. And because by doing that, you're gonna get all the people that hate on that one person. So there's nothing clever about that. Whether you do like little songs about them, whether you do little dances about them, you're still a reactor, and you're still you're still getting the same audiences as other people that react to that same person. It's like a clique. It's like, oh, I can't do anything on my own. So I know what I'll do. I'll go on and I'll start saying that I'm not reacting to that person. But I will. I'll react every time I go live. I'm just going to be more and more hateful about that person. And that kind of reminds me, let's have a sip of my coffee because my lips are sticking together. Almost time for a break, guys. Oh, that kind of reminds me of when FFG first came out, and I think one of the things that attracted me about FFG was the fact that she seemed very honest in that she said, you know, I'm at the time it was all about haters. Oh, you're just a hater. You're just this, you're just that. So she came out and she was like, well, I'm not a hater. I'm an anti-hater. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. Anyway, I still quite like FFG for her honesty. I think she's a very honest, grounded person. And whether her reactors, although there only seems to be one, go on and on about, oh, she's psychotic, she's this, she's obsessed, she's that, she's that. Well, hang on a minute. You just said that you watch every single one of her videos and that you love her. You actually said, but I love FFG. I love FFG. No, you don't. You just jumped on the hate wagon, but instead of going for all the other people, what you did was go for the main one. Because FFG's done jolly well just focusing on one person. And there's got to be a reason for that, you know? It's not just that it can't just be that it's all about the hate for that woman, although the vast majority probably is. But it's the way she does it. And she's a very sort of down to earth, humorous. Yeah, she's loud, over the top. Oh my God. And I stopped watching her for quite a long time. Because I mean you couldn't sit there and watch every single live stream unless you're YOMAMA, because YOMAMA said that he did. There we go. So yeah, I think she'd do your brain in. You'd sort of end up with fried brains after a while. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I do. I mean, I sometimes if I'm in the bathroom and there's nothing else on, I'll put her on because she's not a visual channel. She's somebody that you can just listen to. She sort of calmed down a bit on the manic laughter, which is good. And yeah, I just like her take on things. I like the way she's not allowed to say what she thinks, what she wants to say, but I also think she's a kind person. And I also think she's a kind person, and I feel for her. She's lost her mother, which can't be an easy thing. She's lost both her pets, which again couldn't have been a nasty thing. But what I also admire about her is that she never, ever responds to YOMAMA. Very, very rarely. So I've taken that back in the same sentence. She shouldn't do a video. She shouldn't fire up a video talking about him. Why should she? She's successful. She doesn't need to. So, yeah, I think, you know, and sometimes, like, if you look at the whole picture, there's YOMAMA over there with his 8,000 subscribers, but he's lucky if he gets 2,000 views on there. And then there's her over there who has 30K plus subscribers and gets 30K plus viewers. So she doesn't need YOMAMA. She doesn't need to go over there to give him views. Yeah, exactly. She's no fool. She's no fool. Yeah, exactly. And I applaud her for that. And I'm going to start doing the same thing. Yeah, a lot of people don't like him. He's just I don't know. I don't want to, spend the whole time slagging him off, but he gets an awful lot wrong. And if you weren't here at the beginning, you'll understand. And yeah, it's a shame. There's people out there that are never going to get things right. But okay, so who do you like? You like the shorter ones. Oh, right. Do they do foodie as well? But do they play the videos? Do they play the actual videos? Because I can't take it, guys. And there's no way I could be lying in my bubble bath listening to Foodie's voice. I couldn't do it. I'd have to get out and I couldn't. Yeah, well, we know that Just Freezing is joking here. I wish she would sing a ballad. Yeah, we know you're joking. Listen, she has got a very sort of raspy voice. But did you know a lot of good singers have raspy voices? So you could be wrong. She could actually have a good singing voice. Who knows? Yeah. Do you know, I did give him a chance. Step W. But I think the more, over the past month, I would say, I've realised where his alliances are and the type of person that he actually really is. And I'm like, okay, take a step back. I can't, no, don't have time for that, guys. Don't have time for it. Anyway, so let's just, okay. Well, you never know. Maybe she will one day. Right, I need to have a break in a minute, but let's just hear, and we're back on the old blooming ad. So annoying.
Feeling like I should go out.
I mean, despite the fact that detergent really doesn't go bad and ultimately could be used. And she says the animals, they've been partaking in eating the vegetables too. Now, as far as working out, she said she loves doing sports, even though she doesn't really watch any sports. She said she watched the video back of them in the park and realized how, and this is her words, round she was. Someone tells her she needs to get a gaming console, something to help her pass the time, a hobby. She said she can't.
Right, so in here, she's trying to say, well, I didn't realise I was so big. I didn't realise, until I saw that most recent, excuse me, video. I didn't realise it. So she didn't realise when she nearly capsized the boat in Thailand. No? Okay, didn't realise it then. She didn't realise it when she was filming off of the floor because she can't sit on the couch and have any space before her in order to eat. So she didn't realise it then. She didn't realise it when she had to wedge herself into her Kia when she went back to Canada recently. Didn't realise it. She only realised it when she saw the latest video. Yeah, all right. Yeah, I don't think he's got a bad voice, actually. And I'm very particular. I'm very, very particular. Do you know, there's a couple of their English, and I think that's probably what makes it even worse for me. What's it called? True crime videos and true crime creators. Okay. Well, no, they don't create the true crime. Come on, Jan, you need a break. Right, I'm having a break. I'll be back in a bit. It's painful. It's painful for me. I'm having a break. And we're back. Got myself some water, guys. So I think we can carry on. Whether the brain's going to work or not, it's another thing. I told you. That nap completely screwed me up today. Completely. So annoyed. I was actually not feeling too bad before. And then I thought, oh, take a nap. Maybe I won't do that quite so often. Anyway, what was I saying? We were talking about the lump, weren't we? Yeah, we were talking about that. So let's carry on, and perhaps my thoughts will come back to me as we go through this.
Play games. She can't have a hobby without wanting to eat. And she admits that they will not be going back to the gym. Apparently, the memberships have been canceled. She cites that it was almost $400 a month, but she doesn't really give an actual amount or currency. And she said she will rejoin, but only once she loses 50 pounds. She said to do that, she's not going to count calories. She's just setting her meals out. She loves to eat dates and cashews. She loves to make popcorn with dill, butter, Parmesan cheese. And she said the pool that so many people...
What? Parmesan cheese on popcorn? Really? I'm not sure about that, guys. Ugh.
urged her to use has been closed. And she doesn't want to go to the gym in the apartment because it's, quote, old and it's uncomfortable. She does say that a lot of her clothes have holes in them, and she spent a lot of times sewing the holes shut. She said that she's very good at this and almost offers that as a hobby of resewing her old clothing that she's worn holes in.
Well, we all know that's a whole load of bull. That's a whole load of bull. Or another British word is bollocks. That's a load of bollocks. She's not sewing anything. Good Lord.
25 minutes in, she said she's tired more than 5 times. She cites Sala is just too busy to be around, citing that it's more busy than ever before, which is odd. So it's after the holiday. We didn't really see him at all, but he was plentiful during the holiday with Kybella. And now all of a sudden he's too busy. That doesn't make a lot of sense.
Right. I've realised that Garlic doesn't stop for breathers, does he? So I have to get in there quick. This, my friends, this picture before you is a personification of obstinance. And yeah, if I was to make a poster, I would put that picture there. She's obstinate. That's what she is. If you don't know what it means, Google it. Yeah, Mama.
We go over the same story of the cat hearing her CPAP shut off and then waiting for her to get up and how cute it is. She goes back over wanting to do more live streams, but doesn't really have anything to talk about. She said she's going to do a weigh-in later and reiterates she is down 10 pounds.
See, that's exactly what I was saying. She doesn't have, dare I say, the intellect in order to be able to have a conversation. And that's one of the things I noticed. Remember when she went to Cuba? I'm not talking about the Cuba rage, but I'm talking about when she was in Cuba and she showed herself in situations where you might or she might interact with the public. Did anyone notice how she is completely unable to interact with the public? And I think that's probably because the only time she interacts with the public on a day-to-day basis is when she pulls up in the car, you know, to a drive-through window and says, "I'll have everything." That's the only time she reacts to people. And, you know, this is an issue. This is a real issue for somebody who is 40. Okay. And, you know, it doesn't matter how big she is. It doesn't matter that she's cross-playing. Well, it does matter, actually. But the main point I'm trying to make is that this person is incapable of any form of conversation. And it's proved, it's proved time and time again. Okay.
As far as that thumbnail I talked about in the beginning, she again says she's not eating any of these. And even the chat tells her, even her followers tell her, this is a bad idea. But she defends it. She said she's just going to want to eat pomegranate and cream cheese, and that those are old candy bars, and that's proven by the fact we don't see them in any of the recent hauls.
Right, so she wants to eat pomegranates and Parmesan cheese. How does that work? How does that work? What, you just eat a bowl of Parmesan cheese and then another bowl of pomegranates? I mean, how are you doing it? Or are you putting them all in together, mixing them around and shoving them in your gullet? How is that going to work? It's weird. It's weird and it's untrue.
Meet Dad Gary.
Oh my God, Garlic! Stop with the
Self-titled
adverts, for
coziness
goodness sake.
expert. Look at him.
Even if they are old candy bars, they're there because she left and came back sooner than expected, and Sala clearly didn't gorge on candy bars while she was gone.
Guys, what are we thinking about the situation where he has supposedly changed, decorated the suite, decorated the apartment? What do we believe? Do we believe he did that? Or do we believe that, or do we suspect that it's a completely new apartment? What do we think? I'll tell you while you're writing, because I know all three of you will be writing. I actually believe that it's a new apartment and that Sala didn't decorate it. It's just a new apartment. That's what I believe. Come on, you three. Start typing. Otherwise, I feel like I'm talking to myself. I won't be the first. You do realise that YouTubers are used to talking to themselves. Some people, some of the large channels that I frequent do live streams and they never, ever address the chat. There's nobody in there saying, oh, why don't you look at the chat? You're not talking to the chat. Nah, it's because, yeah. It's because they're proper YouTubers. You know, they're not just reacting to bullshit. All right, so nobody's got anything to say. All right, I'll carry on.
We know, going back to just the juice that she bought for him, she has an inability.
I agree, Deb. Yeah, and I saw that pointed out on somebody's... Was that on FFG's? Was it FFG that pointed that out? I think she did. That you could see. Because when she was in the other apartment, you never saw outside the window. Or very rarely. And when you did, it was a different view of the sea. Now she's on a lower level and you can actually see the people. You can see the people on the sidewalk and you can see the people, well, rather you can see the cars and you can see the sea. Oh. I don't know what it is, guys. Who else gets hay fever like at nighttime? Bloody awful. I hate it. Especially when I only stream at night time. It's so annoying. If I was streaming during the day, I wouldn't be like this. It's because I stream at night. It's so annoying. Anyway, let's carry on.
Ability to not eat things in the house. And that's not a knock on her. That's anyone. So the fact that she's sitting there with a whole tray laid out of candy bars is going to be appealing to anyone, not just her. And the fact that she can't sit there and just say, yeah, I know it's not a good idea, but, Sala has company coming over. There's not much I can do. I'm trying to focus on other things. She can't even do that. She instead says, oh, no, this is fine. They're here, but they're for his company. I don't even eat them. Look at how old they are. They've practically expired. So let me get this straight, Chantal. You're expecting us to believe you're going to eat all the fruits and vegetables before they go bad, but you're letting Snicker bars expire on the counter.
This is what I like about Gorlic. He's got a good sense of humor. He's got a good sense of irony. Somebody, doesn't have, and I think that's that's part of his charm. Dare I say? That draws me to him. He makes me laugh. And he doesn't actually laugh at all in his videos. In order to make people laugh, you don't actually have to laugh yourself. And I know, I mean, I've done tons of videos where I'm just laughing all the way through. And I know that's one of my faults. I know it is. And I really wish I could be more deadpan. I wish I could present a funny scenario without laughing. And sometimes I say to myself, Jan, don't laugh so much in your next video. But I can't help it. Oh, Lordy, Miss Claudie. But what I like about Garlic or Gorlic is that he's very, what's the word? He's very sort of, what's the word I used before? I've forgotten. I'm tired. I'm tired, guys. It's nearly midnight. And I've got to get up tomorrow to be out with my girls. Right, so let's move on a bit more. Does he say? Okay, let's move on a bit because I don't want to play all his video. That's not fair.
The last one, of course, dedicated to raging in FFG. At the end of this, she starts talking about how social media isn't really a job, is a job. It's no different than working in entertainment. She hates being asked what she does. So she jokes and tells people she's an architect because she doesn't want to tell them she's a YouTuber.
Well, we know that's a lie. Nobody asks her what she does. Oh, that's what I was talking about before. Okay. When I was saying about her inability to interact with other people, that's a serious social problem. And it should be addressed, you know, and I'm not just saying addressed by reactors. It should be addressed by professionals. Because when she went on that journey, when she went to Cuba, and you saw her in these scenarios where she, you know, interacted with people, how did she how did she interact with them? She interacted with them like she was a 12-year-old. She had absolutely no social skills whatsoever. And that's a bit, yeah, that's a bit weird, especially for somebody that's been, well, no, okay. Especially for somebody that's been online for as long as she had. I'm going to retract that because anybody can sit in their home and talk to a camera and then respond to people who talk to her and blah, 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 and still have a social problem. So that's why I'm retracting that. But I'll always remember seeing her, like, even when she was going to have a dinner, she'd always sort of, you know, she'd go into the restaurant and she'd sit on her own. Obviously, she'd sit on her own because she was holidaying alone. So I understand that. But there were instances where people walked by and maybe said something to her, and her responses to them were very, oh, what's the word? Very insightful as to her uh, her behavior when she's in a social environment. All she would do is like giggle, just giggle and giggle and giggle, and it's like you don't expect that, you know, even if you're on holiday and, you know, you interact with people sometimes, if you're sat there and maybe their child comes over and you sort of chat to them and I mean, I'm terrible. I chat to anybody and, you know, I'll chat if a child comes over and I'll say, "Oh, you having a nice holiday?" And then the parents will probably say something and then, you know, that's how you start a conversation. Now, I think her footage of when she was in Cuba, I think um was very insightful as to how she does behave in social situations. And it's quite sad really, you know, to be that inept, to be not be able to converse or make small talk with other people. Now, I know that there are people that aren't very good at making small talk. I realize that. But I just felt that with her, it was beyond that. It was more than just the inability to have small talk with other people. I think it just showed a side of her that she should get help for. because otherwise she's never going to have what we call, a normal. I hate using that word. She's never going to have a life where she is able to interact with people, and whether we choose to distance ourselves away from other people in our lives, uh, it doesn't really, it doesn't really matter. It's about the fact that we're all humans and we need interaction, and it's the same with, like, if you get a puppy, you take them to socialization classes, and I just feel that she's never had that. And she would make a very good subject for somebody to do a serious psychological check on, to do a psychological analysis on, because, yeah, it's just, I don't want to say weird. I hate, using words that sort of are always sort of taken as negative. Um, I, I'm not really trying to be negative towards her. I'm just trying to sort of explain how I see her. And there were times when she was in Cuba that I actually felt quite sorry for her, and yet I can't stand the woman. I really don't like her. But there were times when I did feel, oh my God, she's actually like a fish out of water. And that, I feel, is a very good analogy of Chantel in the real world. She's a fish out of water. And I wish that she had the drive to try and do something about it, to recognize it in herself and to try and do something about it. Because I'm sure if, one of my children, I've got 4 adult children, and I'm sure if one of them was presenting in that way, where they weren't able to go out, and I noticed that, they had no sort of social skills or anything, I would definitely want to get to the bottom of it and get the help that they need. But this woman has just painted this make-believe world, really. That's what it is. She's painted a make-believe online personality and lifestyle. And because she's not the brightest, I was going to say the brightest cookie in the in the box. You don't get bright cookies because she's not the brightest of people. She has not realized that her whole existence online is actually shrouded in negativity, and I think that that's a real shame, and I think it's also very indicative of the way she treats people now. She deals well, she likes to feel that she can deal with people who are speaking badly of her, but what she doesn't realize is that people are only speaking badly of her because of the way that she presents online. And again, that's it's down to her. And this story and of her falling in love with this Arab guy is just insane. And people are they too invested in it? I don't know. I mean, if that's what they do, if that's what they want to do, they want to react to somebody like this, that's entirely up to them. But I mean, to be honest, I've had people say to me, "Why don't you react to Foodie?" And I'm like, because I see no humor there. I see that she's a very inept person, and I don't want to do that. I mean, why would I want to do that? I just don't see it. But I remember one scene when she was on the beach in Cuba, and just the total isolation of her on that beach, a place where people would dream of going to. with the golden sands and the blue sky and the turquoise sea. And there she was, totally alone with a big bald head. And there were people milling around, but she was totally alone. And I felt sorry for her, guys. I felt in one way, I thought, oh God, she's strong to do that. You know, that's taken a lot of courage for her to do that. That's what I thought. And then I thought, I don't know, she's just, there's something amiss. And I just think it's a real shame. I wouldn't want that on any individual, really, to, to sort of have that life of solitude. And I think if we're totally honest, she does have a life of solitude. She tries to bring in different characters, but if we're totally honest and if we look at the huge picture, she has a life of solitude. And seeing her sort of waddle into the water, which is a scene that many of us would love to replicate, completely on her own, and just like with this camera pointed out at the sea, and then, seeing her head just bobbing about in the waves. I just thought it's such a sad vision. But hey, that's me. That's you know, I'm a bit of an empath. What can I say? But anyway, I think we're gonna end there. But I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed this look at what's his name? At Gorlic Bread, and what he has to say, and how and why I enjoy, or yeah, I do enjoy some of his videos, because I think he looks at it from a different way. And I think that's what I like. I don't want people, oh, thank you, Capone. That's absolutely lovely. Thank you. Love you too, darling. I think it's, so many people, especially in this area of YouTube, so many people were just so blinkered and so tunnel visioned. And I'm not like that really as a person. It's like I've often said that if I see someone, and something that I touched on Wednesday was my love of strong women and how they inspire me and inspire me to be stronger. Or although I do feel that I am strong anyway, but we're all people, guys. And one of my favorite quotes ever is, the world is a stage and all the people merely players. And I truly believe that. So on your stage, be strong, okay? And if your stage is online, then just be aware of what you put out. And if people call you something or say you're this way, you're that way, it doesn't matter, because you know who you are, okay? And, I am speaking to certain people in my chat at the moment, and I will always, always, always commend strong women, because I always believe if a woman, uh, I believe that a lot of women have been through a hell of a lot of pain in order to build that wall around themselves and that shell around them. And people tapping on it online doesn't mean anything. It really doesn't. So I'm going to wish you all the best weekend. It's bloody freezing here. I'm telling you. So my daughter said to me, where do you want to go tomorrow, Mum? And I said, as long as it's somewhere warm, I don't mind. So I'm hoping we're going to go indoors. I doubt if we're going to London or anything like that, but maybe we'll go somewhere, a shopping mall, an indoor shopping mall. So I want to wish you all of, a weekend of love and joy and happiness, because that's important, guys. We need that. Oh my God, do we need that? So I'll see you, no doubt, on Wednesday. I might try and get a video up before then. But you take care of yourselves out there, okay? Because it's a rotten old world. And yeah, we need to look after ourselves. All right, you take care. And I'll see you next week, all right? Bye-bye for now.
Welcome to Jan's Views. A place.
Wrong one. See, it wouldn't be the same if I didn't cock it up. So that was a cock up. So, ta-da!